Alright guys, it's Michigan CJ here. You guys know I was going to do it. I talked about it in one of my videos. So, this is a comparison between the mr920 and the mr920 Warrior Poet Edition. Let's get started. Alright, first let's start with specs. Alright, so the mr920 is made by Shadow Systems. The company Shadow Systems made a variant of their gun called the Warrior Poet pistol for John Level. You guys should look him up on YouTube. He has a great channel. There are a few differences that I noticed actually after receiving this pistol, even different than the video that he made describing his Warrior Poet mr920 version. So I'm going to go over those. So, oh, also I have different optics on these, as you can see. I have a Trijicon Type 2 RMR on here, auto adjustable model, which works perfectly. I really like it. I think that with the more durable housing that this one has, after I shoot this one through its 200 round break-in period, I'm probably going to put another couple hundred rounds through it. If this one shoots reliable, because I haven't shot this one yet, this could potentially become my carry gun over this one, just because I prefer the Trijicon RMR over the Holosun. So let's go ahead and get started. So first, basically, to tell you about the specs of these. So there's actually quite a few differences. So we'll start with the weight. So this version of the mr920, the Warrior Poet version, actually weighs 20.5 ounces. Just to give you an example of how light that actually is compared to a Glock 19 or anything else, this right here is a SIG P365XL, and this firearm weighs 20.7 ounces, but it's substantially smaller. And that's actually quite amazing to me. Even though this gun is smaller, this gun weighs just about the same exact weight. And actually, to verify and make sure I have the weights correct, the standard mr920 non-Warrior Poet pistol, after looking this up to make sure, this one weighs 20.9 ounces. The Warrior Poet version of this pistol, for whichever reason, weighs 20.5 ounces. The SIG P365XL weighs 20.7 ounces. So I just had to verify this information. So other than the weight, the length of both of these pistols is 7.13 inches. The height is 4.75 inches. And the width is 1.25 inches. As far as similarities in appearance, I mean, some of the slide cuts are similar, but there's quite a few differences. So we're going to start here. If you look at the font on the 9x19, it's different. I don't know if that matters or not, but it is. They both have Amerigo sights, the same color. But that's the first difference, the font on the 9x19. The War Poet on the barrel, as you can see here, the difference is it has War Poet written on it versus it doesn't. So that's one. As you can see, the slide cuts, totally different design. I don't have a problem with either one of these slide cuts. I mean, they both work. Yeah, I guess if I had to say if one was better, I mean, technically the ones on the Warrior Poet feel a little easier to access to me, except from the top, and I'll talk about that in a second. But from the side, I think I like the ones on the Warrior Poet better. Now, what I was saying about the top was I feel like the Warrior Poet version of this pistol has a stronger spring, recoil spring into it. I mean, everything about it just feels like a stronger recoil spring to me. Now, I can't verify that. It just feels stronger. Could be because it's brand new, but we'll see. Other differences. Trigger shoe. Trigger shoe on this one is, well, red. And the trigger shoe on this one, the standard mr920, is black. Both have flat triggers. I mean, I haven't noticed any difference in trigger pull. I'll demonstrate that real quick. Magazine out. Trigger pull on the Warrior Poet. So here, take up, wall. So again, take up, wall. A little bit of creep, break. Reset, break. Very good trigger. And I think this trigger will get better after I shoot it some. Original mr920. Wall, again, wall, creep, break, reset, break. I feel like this one's smoother because it's been shot 450 rounds or so. I think that made a difference. I feel like the pull weight is still the same though, 4 to 4.5 pounds. All right, other than slide cuts, another difference are the barrel cuts. As you can see, the cuts on this barrel are more of a spiral versus the cuts on this barrel are straight. Now, I couldn't find a video on YouTube that really told the difference between these two, so looks like I'll be the first for that. What else we got here? Let's take a look. So another one which I noticed, which I actually do like a lot, is the slide release. So there is actually a big difference here. And this wasn't talked about by John Level when he described his Warrior Poet mr920 pistol version 2. But it has a little bit of an extended slide release here with this little nub. So it's easier to access, easier to drop, and I actually love it. I wish it was ambidextrous, but I love this a lot more than this one, which is your typical Glock 19 Gen 3 slide release. It's very flat, with this little protrusion off the grip frame. It makes it like almost even, you know. So this one makes it a lot more accessible, at least to me, and a lot more easier to use. Again, I'm left-handed, so, but still, it just works a lot better for me. Grip texture and everything's the same on both. Magwell is the same. Trigger is aluminum on both. As far as I can tell, just about everything else is the same. I do find it very unusual that the weight is different. I mean, if you look at it, you don't see much difference, but 20.5 ounces versus 20.9, and this one has a smaller cut so you can see the barrel, and this one has a larger cut, but it still weighs less. I don't know, maybe if it's in the cuts or maybe if it's in the barrel, but it's slightly less. Either way, just imagine an ultralight Glock 19 Gucci Glock that shoots extremely flat with very soft recoil, even softer than the Glock 19. And that's basically what the mr920 is. So I'm going to talk about this one for a second because I actually shot this one. So this is one I had before I got the Warrior Poet. I bought this one because I love this one so much. I put approximately 450 rounds through this. There's a 200 round break-in on these pistols. I don't know if you guys know that, because the tolerances, everything is so tight. So the company even says in the manual they require 200 round break-in before this pistol is considered reliable, which is a con to me because, you know, ammo costs quite a bit of money. At one of my local gun ranges, I've seen ammo for $45 a box for 50, you know, so that's damn near $200 to shoot 200 rounds on top of a pistol that costs $1,000 just to make it reliable. Other than that small con, though, there aren't many others. Sometimes with this magwell, if you're gripping it, you can feel it kind of move a little bit down here because it's put in by a pin here. So sometimes you can feel it like slide down when you put a lot of pressure, but it's nothing like crazy. It won't pinch you or anything, but it's just something I noticed. So shooting experience. So during my 200 round break-in period, I had 7 failures to feed. I know it seems a lot scary, like but it was stated in the manual that they required a 200 round break-in period. So right about 150 rounds through this firearm, I had my last failure to feed, which made me extremely nervous. So I went back to the range and shot another 300 rounds through it the next day just to make sure it was reliable. And I had no failure to feeds whatsoever after 150 rounds. So this weapon is very reliable. As far as the shooting experience, this is a extremely flat shooting gun. I mean, I have some guns that shoot very well, but this firearm, it's like when you shoot it, the dot is still in the same spot. And even without using this gas pedal ledge, because sometimes I won't have my thumb on this, it still shoots and the dot is right back in the same spot. And I mean, it doesn't get any better than that. I can shoot this gun as fast as possible, that I can shoot it in a 5 round spread and put the bullets, all the bullets are touching damn near in the same hole. And I was very impressed about how fast that I can shoot this firearm under recoil. And yes, their claims for being the flattest shooting gun on the market, I would agree that this is the flattest shooting gun that I have shot. And I love this gun so much. And this is one of the few firearms that I ever owned that can actually outshoot my Glock 19 Gen 5 MOS. And my SIG P320, it's just more accurate. It's softer shooting, it's lighter, and it has less recoil than even my SIG P320 with the Icarus Precision Grip Module, which is a lot heavier firearm. This firearm still shoots softer, even though it's light. It's like lighter than Glock 19, but it has less recoil than a Glock 19 and the SIG P320 with the Icarus Precision Grip Module. It's just amazing. It's light and accurate and reliable, so much so that I bought another one. I just found a reason to. I was like, oh, Warrior Poet, that's slightly different. I don't have that one. So needless to say, I bought it, threw a different optic on it, and I absolutely love it. I'm looking forward to taking this one out to the range really soon and putting some rounds through it, and hopefully I'll have it You know, I'm expecting to have the same reliability I've had with this one. Are there any other differences? Well, I kind of feel like the finish is different. Not in quality, but in appearance. For example, this finish is on the original mr920 is like a shinier, slightly shinier, slightly sexier finish. This finish on the Warrior Poet is more of a reminiscent of a Glock 19 Gen 4 to me. It's just like not quite as shiny, but still just as durable, and maybe more so. I believe that is all the differences I found between these two firearms. Very small things. Ultimately, it's up to you which one you want to purchase. But I guess the biggest difference, I mean, the smaller cutout, which means less debris that could possibly get into here. So potentially the Warrior Poet could be better for concealed carry. The slighter weight, or the lighter weight could also be another thing. I mean, if 0.4 ounces matter, but I guess that technically would make it better for concealed carry because it's lighter. The slide cuts, if you guys prefer these cuts over these cuts, I suppose it could make it better. If you guys like the color red, you know, I guess that's a big difference versus black, but I prefer my firearms to be all black. But that could be another deciding factor if you guys are deciding between picking up the Warrior Poet version, or maybe you guys just want to support John Level. You know, this would be a good firearm to pick up as well to support him. Has a cool Warrior Poet emblem on it, you know. But honestly, I would definitely recommend this gun if you guys are into Glocks. If you guys don't like Glock grip angles, I actually believe this is far better than the Glock as far as all the Glocks that I've owned so far. I haven't put 10,000 rounds through this firearm yet, so I can't attest to the reliability being greater. But if the reliability does turn out to be similar, I mean, with the universal optic cut and all the features and everything it comes with, you would have to put approximately like $1,600 to $1,700 into a stock Glock to get a Glock where this firearm is out the factory. So if you guys have any other questions, this is the Michigunner CJ. Please subscribe to my channel. Feel free to ask me. I'll be doing videos as often as I can. I mean, I don't have any set schedule. Again, I'm just a regular concealed carrier. I purchase firearms just like everybody else. I shoot them. I train. So please subscribe. Is there anything else you want to know? Let me know. And this is the Michigunner CJ signing off.